Hey guys, this is Tyler here. I want to just talk briefly about a topic that I see coming up constantly. A lot of people that are new to this community fall into the trap of immediately believing. So we see a lot of extremes when it comes to the area of day trading. You have some people that say it's doable for most people, possible with consistency, with following rules, patterns, etc. And then you have another group that states that it's completely a scam. There's less than, say, 5% of people that are successful in this realm. And this camp of people is completely polar to the other camp. My personal opinion is this, is if someone wants it enough and they have natural talent and they have the drive, they can become successful in that area. The biggest problem, firstly, for that most people have in trading is they don't have enough capital to start with. When you're starting, often you're going to be taking some pretty significant losses in the beginning. Most people in the first 2 to 5 years, they're going to be in the negative. They're going to have a minus deficit. And what happens is these people are then introduced to other people that are investing in 401ks and long-term growth stocks, and they start comparing apples and oranges. They're like, oh, well, look at this guy. He invested in these growth stocks over 3 or 5 years. His account's up 80%. His account's up 100+%. But the problem is that person isn't accounting for where's his account going to be in 5 more years or 10 more years. And often what happens is it's just like people who go to college. Most people, they get degrees, they start with a minus deficit. They have student loans and whatnot. They haven't had enough time, enough years to clear break even and then potentially positive. So a lot of these newer traders, they only start out with a few thousand, 10,000. They burn through it. And so, yeah, they lost money. Of course they lost money because they didn't have enough capital to begin with. And I hate using this example, but you look at people that play blackjack or some of these card games, which ironically, I'm not super interested in. You have to go in with a big enough bankroll to consistently make profit in those card games. And it's the same thing with the market. Most people, yes, initially, they will lose money. They will be in the deficit before they break even. And that break even point might be in 3, 5, sometimes 10 years. But usually what happens is then that account will consistently grow year after year. And those returns will far exceed what someone would be making, say, in their 401k or their index fund, their Vanguard growth stocks. They're going to clear way more than in that category. Like I said, most people don't reach that point. They haven't hit a point where they are break even and they start climbing. Some people haven't even refined and mastered their skills. And even when I look at myself, I will lay it out on the table here for everyone. I had a plenty big account to start with when I began day trading in 2019, but I didn't follow rules. I wasn't consistent. I didn't cut my losers quickly. All these rules I didn't follow. I took big losses. But once again, you look at people who get college degrees, there's many college degree earners that are still not break even 10 or 15 years later. Do people class those people as losers? Probably not. Another aspect that is really startling me is when I look at the economy and when you look at all these job layoffs and just how many people thought they had comfortable careers are forced to either downgrade their jobs, take jobs they would never have taken that don't pay nearly what they were making before. Everything is so everything is so risky right now in America and in other countries that what do you have to lose to get in and give it a shot? You don't know what your break-even point is, when that is. There's those complete prodigies that can break even in a few months and start climbing an account their first year. That is completely the exception. And the problem with people when they follow a lot of these YouTubers is they see prodigies, or they see people that are completely capping. They're not being transparent. And they think, oh, I'm in the deficit my first year. I must not be able to do this. No, you probably can do it. When you look at most growth stocks, if you're only putting in a few thousand a year, yeah, maybe long term, you'll have a big account. But are those growth stocks really going to climb to the parabolic levels that we've seen the past 5 years with your Teslas and Apple and Microsoft? Stocks like this? Probably not. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but when you look at many of these stocks, they're already way overextended as it is. And then you have this AI bubble that's also plays a role in it. You have to realize that there is a break-even point, and once you master this craft, you can climb this account way more than what you'd be able to do on a index fund or other account. Now, with that said, my warning is here. If you're a very risk-averse person and you don't want to see all these drawdowns, you don't want to see a massive drawdown when you're starting out, as is often the case with many traders. Just an example. There's a well-known trader in the YouTube community called Warrior Trading. Russ Cameron is the guy's name. He was in the deficit by about 120,000 when he started out. Anyone who follows him now knows his account is over 20 million. And he's consistently shown audited, transparent financial statements to show people, yeah, I'm being honest, this is completely valid what I'm doing. But like, that guy just grinded, and he was in the deficit and realized he didn't have a lot of options. He had tried working in New York in an actual financial institution, couldn't get a job in that. There's people here that watch these videos that have the talent and they have what it takes to thrive in this realm. So give yourself a break. Understand you might be in the deficit initially before you climb into the positive. Give me your feedback, guys, on this video below, and thank you.